What's going on? Welcome to the second edition of the BJJ Addict Podcast. I'm your host, Real DWC. I'm here with my co-host, Jer.
Hello, what's up?
He's a little quiet. I'm going to get the best out of him, don't worry. So, guys, basically, last week was my first ever episode. Thank you to Submission FC for giving us some gear to give away. Also, a big shout out to Master Lloyd Irvin. That was a great talking with him on the podcast. So if you guys were listening to us, I want you guys to know, because I didn't wrap it up properly, or not wrap it up, but let you guys know that our podcast is basically going to be about everything and anything to do with the BJJ world, whether that be an MMA, any MMA basically I see with subs that I like, I'll talk about it. It's not always going to be like the biggest organizations. We're going to talk to local and international known black belts, school owners, anything to do really with jiu-jitsu, like I said. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you could do that at RealDWC. Also at the BJJ Addict, TheBJJAddict. Remember to subscribe to us on YouTube, like our Facebook page, all that stuff, guys. And also, if you are downloading our stuff on iTunes, please rate our show, guys. It will help us get moving and actually get well known in the world of podcasts. So it means a lot if you guys subscribe. So me and Jay are going to go over a couple things real quick. The UFC that just passed, Jay, Chan San Young got the Darce choke on Dustin Poirier in the finishing the championship rounds per se. What is something you saw in that move that you liked?
It's just like how fast he slapped it on. It could have been probably the fatigue factor of Poirier.
Yeah.
It really affects how well you defend against a choke like that. And especially, like, he's been coming off with some really good, the Korean Zombie's pulling off some pretty slick techniques.
Absolutely. We saw him hit the twister in his fight with Leonard Garcia, and now he pulls off a Darce. So do you think with him getting the finishes, he's that much closer to getting a title shot? Do you think he deserves it?
I think he does. I mean, he's been pulling some flashy stuff that I think the fans would love to see. Yeah. I think if he did go against Jose Aldo, it could be pretty troublesome for Aldo. And since he's got a good chin as well, so
I agree. It'd be cool if they hit the ground, because there's a lot of talk about Aldo's ground game. It hasn't been seen yet. So for him to get in there with someone who wouldn't mind a bang, but also would be going for some cool subs, it's a good matchup stylistically.
Yeah.
Also, Strikeforce, we had Rafael Feijão Cavalcante. He guillotined Mike Kyle, the most aggressive one I've seen in a while. What did you see in that?
I was surprised at how fast that was.
Yeah.
It was like, what, 10 seconds?
It was unbelievable. He beat him up on the hands a bit.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting – I saw him slap it on. I'm thinking, okay, standing high elbow. Yeah. And then he just jumps guard like insane.
I think it's the fact that he had faith in it. Because he did hit him with hammer fists. I think it was hammer fists.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that distracted him. So it kind of left him open for the guillotine.
Okay, for those that don't know, you also train with me right here in Ottawa. We don't care, right? In jiu-jitsu, we go for a guillotine, we're on our back, you're having fun. In a tournament, you might think twice because of the points. But MMA, I think, is even more dangerous because, his head pops out. He's in a great position to do some hammer fists himself, some GNP. So do you think that he just didn't care, or do you think he knew he had it?
I think he knew he had it because, he rocked him pretty early too as well.
Yeah.
With punches, and I think that he did have it tight. So.
Yeah, definitely. We actually got a person that we had a caller into Fight Fans Radio. They were asking about the World Jiu-Jitsu Expo that just happened. Nick Diaz did not show up. I'm sure if you were like me, you were not too happy.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I think it's pretty disrespectful. I mean, this is not the first time he's done it.
Yeah.
And to the BJJ, I mean, MMA and BJJ, I mean, you got to show respect, especially like Braulio. You know, it's rude for your opponent, especially, you know.
Yeah, I agree. My first instinct right away, I hope he's okay. And if he's okay, then someone's got to deal with this immediately. This can't be accepted. But, you know, I don't know the full story, so I'm not going to I hear this and that, right? I hear there's problems with the promoter giving money or not to the charity or whatnot. I also hear Braulio was off weight. You hear certain things here and there, and then you start to form your own opinion. But I would love to know everything. I would love to see Nick sit down with Braulio, the promoter sit down, and everyone tell what really happened. Because I'm dying to know the real story behind the scenes. Because let's give the benefit of the doubt. I'll play devil's advocate. Let's say Nick was in the right. Now that's a whole new ball game, you know. Whereas most people are just crapping on Nick Diaz right now. I could say shitting on, I guess. I'm allowed to swear on here. But everyone's really giving him a hard time because of his past with the no-shows. But, you know, let's say he's in the right. Does that make any difference, or should he have showed up and fought anyways?
Well, you're scheduled to fight, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When you're at that level, don't you think, you know what? No one's going to eat off my back. Maybe when you're a younger kid, people are taking advantage of you. But let's say he's in the right. Do you say, you know what? I'm going to stand up for myself. No one's taking advantage of me. Yeah. I'm not fighting today. I don't care. This is what we agreed on. It didn't happen. I'm not fighting. You agree?
Yeah. Yeah. But then again, like, it's the fact that it's just the whole professionalism. You're scheduled to fight. You should fight, you know, and respect to your opponent. Like, if one doesn't show up and doesn't tell anybody, then that's kind of like that's pretty rude.
All right. Well,
stuff does come up. So.
I guess we're on different tips there. I'm not gonna beat that one to death too much. It's been talked about a lot, but I did want to touch on that. I'm glad a person back on the phones hit up our people and let us talk about that for a second. But the Worlds are coming up May 31st to June 3rd in California. The biggest tournament that we have right now. This means everything in our sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You win this, it can make or break a career. If you even beat someone good that you shouldn't beat, this could help your career huge with seminars, DVDs, the list goes on. So this is a lot of people's time to shine. I'm sure there's going to be a couple people busting out that we've never even heard of, and we're going to have to find out about them right away. But who are some people showing up that you're excited to see, Jer?
I like the Atos camp, actually.
Yeah? Who do you love specifically from there?
Well, the Mendez brothers, man, I like their style. It's just it's very pleasing to watch.
Yeah. Do you think that's the reason that everyone is a fan of the Mendez brothers, or are they doing something that much different that other people aren't doing?
Yeah, I think their style is more unique.
Yeah.
A lot of people try to copy it, I think, or try to emulate that in jiu-jitsu tournaments. So I think the fact that they're unique is why they're a fan favorite, and not only like they so, well, most of the time they so.
Yeah, I me personally, I'm really looking for Felipe Costa to get out there. I saw him perform in the Pan Ams. He didn't have the outcome he wanted, but I hear him speak about being a small guy or him being at the level he is. He has the same doubts we have competing. I hear him talking. He's talking about, sometimes you get down to, you want to quit right there, but he doesn't. He just keeps pushing through. And he said that's what really makes a champion. And, this year he seems poised to perhaps win the Worlds again. He said when he won it before, he's not even close. He's so much better now than he was then. And he's blown away that he won it then, but now he wants to prove to people, like, listen, I still got what it takes. So I'm really rooting for him. Ultra heavyweight Cyborg Roberto Rui, how can you not like him?
Yeah.
You see this guy doing his tornado inverted. He moves like a lightweight, so I'm pumped to see him. I know you're a huge fan of Galvao. Tell people like.
Oh man, I love Galvao. He's pretty I don't know how to call. He's pretty aggressive with his jiu-jitsu. Like again, it's not. I wouldn't say it's unique. I'd say it's more of a. What do you call it? He's very technical.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, he's definitely doing it like none other though. He's showing people that listen. These are things that I work on at my level, and I'm crushing people, and he is, and he's trying to get people back to the basics. I think, and I think him kind of being over the Mendes, who's so unique, is actually tightening up all the little parts, and that's what helps their overall game, I think. For those listening right now, we actually got a caller who should be calling in soon. Curt Cummings, I believe he's from Virginia. I'm a friend of his, and you guys, I didn't even tell you that, but I should have. And I'm excited to speak to my man here. He has a great story, like most of us. We all have unique stories in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The jiu-jitsu community, so he'll be on any second soon, so stay tuned for that. I'm really pumped to talk to him. One more big name that there's too many big names to talk about, but JT Torres, I'm looking forward for him in the Worlds too, because
hey, what's up, man?
There he is. Curt, I was just telling people not much. What's happening with you?
Not much, buddy.
Yeah, I was just telling people that you're coming on soon. You have a unique story as a lot of people, and they don't get to tell their story as much. They don't have the outlet, or they don't have anyone to talk to sometimes. So I'm glad you're on. Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you. It's funny that we all have stories to tell. I mean, anybody that's been in jiu-jitsu for 8 plus 10 years, 12 years, 16 years, you always got your road to where you're at now.
Yeah.
And I think it's great what you guys are doing for us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So for those that don't know, me and my buddy John, we were setting out to do a road trip along the East Coast of America, and we were in Concord, New Hampshire, and we happened to just come across your name, and we said, let's check him out. And it was one of the best things that I think I've ever encountered, and it was great meeting you then. And I think your spider guard game is incredible. So thank you. And it was just the luck of the draw, and I'm really glad that we got to meet then, and here we are right now.
Yeah, well, thanks. I mean, I tribute my spider guard from Admar Barbosa.
Yeah, can you speak about that?
Yeah, his spider guard's sick. He's got, just an amazing game off his back. And, he's a great competitor. He's a great instructor. And, just being hooked up with Robert, Drysdale in Vegas, gave me the outlet to hook up with Admar. And it definitely took my game to another level when I started training with Admar. The pace that he pushes, the way that he trains it's definitely world class.
Nice. So Curt, so let's just say, I don't know if I introduced you. Say your full name, say your rank in BJJ, and let's start off from the beginning where you started training.
Okay. Well, my name's Curt Cummings. I'm a brown belt under Robert Drysdale. I started training in 2000 in Hawaii, Maui, Hawaii. I first started training at a Hicks and Gracie affiliate school. And I don't know, I was there for maybe a month and a half. And it was just it was more of a self-defense type of grappling. A lot of judo throws. Every class we'd start with 100 judo throws. I don't know. I was looking for something more. And the guy that hooked me up with Omolo's name said, "Hey, if you really like jiu-jitsu and you want to learn, real good jiu-jitsu, I'll bring you to another guy, but he's tough. He'll bloody your nose. You walk away beat up. A lot of guys don't want to go train with him. So I was like, whatever, I'm down. I was young and dumb, I was like, let's do this. So I met Travis Pennington, and Travis Pennington was a brown belt under Renato Verissimo, who's a Novi now guy. Top guy back in the day.
He was BJ's teacher, correct?
Yeah, it's BJ Pennington's instructor. Yep, that BJ brought back from Brazil. Anybody that, obviously BJ's, jiu-jitsu is insane. And, if he thought highly enough of Renato, then, that says something about him, about the guy.
Absolutely.
So, basically, we were affiliate school of Nova União, and, we trained under Renato Verissimo for probably, I think back then it was 6 years Travis was hooked up with him for. And, we were a gi school in the beginning from like 2000 to I think 2002, and then we just took the jacket off. BJ was kind of going, towards the no-gi style of jiu-jitsu, and, we felt like we should follow.
Let me cut you off for a second. When you started that, did you feel the difference? Like, oh my God, where's my sweeps gone, or where's all these folding chokes or X chokes? Did you feel a little awkward?
It's funny. It's when you take the jacket off, it's a whole other world when you're not used to training like that. And it took a while to adapt to the no-gi style of it. You look everything, all your grips are different, but then, years of, I trained no-gi jits for 5 years straight, and then, no, longer than that. So it would have been, it was 7 years of no-gi.
Wow.
And then when I started training with Admar is when I started, because he just wears the jacket all the time. So when when I started training with the gi with Admar, man, oh my God, I was just getting killed. And that's what really opened my eyes to, what, it's time to really, put the jacket on, leave it on until I get comfortable, and then take it off for fun.
Nice.
Thing. And there's, I think there's things to be said about, training with both. I don't agree with just training with a jacket or, just training with the gi, with the no gi. I think it's fun to do with both. It was a good experience, that I had, with training with and without, for sure.
I agree. What's something you took away from training in Maui with Navia Union? What's something that you really took away and is still in you and you instill in others?
I think that's a good question. I think that a lot of it would have been, the Nova União school, it's a lot about playing on your shoulders, being really able to maneuver around your opponent when you're on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of schools, that are, especially around here, a lot of them don't even know how to do the roll from the bottom, like, roll under your opponent to get into like a tornado guard sweep position. So Nova União guys, they're really good at like getting on the shoulders and playing underneath the guy and making them really work. And that, for me, for being a big guy, was hard for me in the beginning to learn how to play small, and to get under guys. And then, playing on your shoulders with spider guard and this and going to the back and that would be something that I would credit to my years in Hawaii. Would be that was just really learning to play on my back and getting under guys.
Yeah. My co-host here, Jared, he has a question he'd want to ask you. So here's Jared.
Hey, Curt.
All right. How you going, man?
Pretty good, thanks. This is going back to your gi training. Did you find that when you took off the gi that you were pretty tight doing no gi, or was that kind of a struggle to
Well, I think when I took off the gi, obviously when you take off the gi, lots of things are right there for you. Rear naked chokes are so much more easier to get without the gi. Guillotines are a lot easier to get without the gi. The guy when he's passing your half guard or trying to pass your half guard, he'll wizard you more. So you've got options from there for sweeps and other things from there. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely different, but I think I adapted, pretty good to it. It took time, like anything else, but.
Nice. You mentioned when you got back, you relocated to train with Admar. Was that in New Hampshire still?
Admar was in Hudson, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So I became an affiliate under Robert in 2009, and when I came back, I immediately, started training with Admar, and I was going there every Saturday. He was having like an open mat classes and stuff. And I was a new affiliate with Robert, and boy, Admar treated me like a brother. As soon as he knew that I was, affiliate with Robert and stuff. And
what does it mean to represent Robert Drysdale, by the way? What does that mean? What does it mean to represent Robert Drysdale, having that patch on your back?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a huge honor. The guy is, in my opinion, not only is his jiu-jitsu insane, and not only is the guy an incredible instructor, and he'll teach you things and simplify it, so easily. But he's also just a great guy. It's hard to find somebody with that much skill that's not caught up in himself. And I just feel like, to represent Robert, I feel good about who I'm representing, my jiu-jitsu. I don't know. It's the whole thing is a pleasurable experience for sure.
That's nice to hear. Also, Curt, we were just talking about the worlds that were coming up. Is there anyone that you're looking forward to really seeing compete out there?
There's a lot of good guys now, and seeing Jeff Glover at the World Expo and how he performed, I would love to see him compete more with the Jack.
I don't think he's registered for the Worlds.
No, it's funny. He had said that he was thinking about it when he fought Kyle after he won and stuff, and that he might, get into it. And I think Jeff Glover's got a lot to offer.
How great was that match?
That match was insane. It's just Kyle Terra is on a whole other atmosphere of jiu-jitsu. I mean, he's part of like that vanguard of new jiu-jitsu. That people talk about. And I feel like when I watched those two, grapple, it was something else. Bill Cooper's another one that has really, that whole Paragon Jiu-Jitsu family is they're it's a big team. They get some really good guys. They're tough competitors.
I couldn't actually believe Nino's performance, to be honest. I know for his time, he was ahead of the time. Like, he was one of those guys that were coming up with new stuff and very aggressive. But then I see him go against Bill Cooper, and I mean, he was right up to date with modern jiu-jitsu, I found. Like, I was blown away watching him.
Yeah, it's funny. I watched a video. It's on YouTube. It's with Bill Cooper and Ricardo Abreu, so Cyborg.
Yeah.
And Cyborg is a beast. And Bill Cooper and Cyborg went at it for the full duration. And at the end, Bill Cooper had Cyborg running a little bit.
Is that he had him in a bow and arrow choke?
No, he didn't get in a choke. I think he was set. I can't remember what it was, but he had him running away with something. It was tight, and he had 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
But to have Cyborg running away from you at the end, I mean, the kid's got heart, and the way that he handed Nino Schembri and stuff, it's just the whole expo was great. Whether Diaz, showed up or not, whatever. I mean, that's a whole other trip. But I felt that, Jeff Glover and Bill Cooper really showed there. Even though, I mean, you got to remember, Nino Schembri, he's getting older.
Yeah.
And, you get older and you start, you can't keep up with these young guys anymore.
That's what I thought was most impressive from him, was the fact that he was, I thought he was right there, like step for step with him. I thought he didn't look that slow. I thought that was one of my favorite matches out of those. And obviously, the Calterra match was my hands down the favorite, though.
Yeah, that match is insane. I mean,
were you a little shocked?
What's that?
Were you shocked with the way Glover started the match with the back?
Glover's a character. I respect him because you know what he was doing. He was trying to make it a good show.
Yeah.
The whole time that fight was going on, he was thinking about the fans and getting everybody pumped up. Because I truly believe that, jiu-jitsu is one of those things that it's not very well publicized.
No.
We're not going to. I don't think we'll ever see it on TV. People don't really understand and grasp how technical it is. What it can offer people. As far as like just life lessons and who you are, and it really develops your character, I believe. And I think Jeff Glover was really doing a good job pumping that fight up. I mean, to give your back to Calterra, I mean, are you kidding me? Right off the bat, So I think in the beginning, he just wanted to make it an exciting fight. And I think he really did a good job by doing that.
Do you think the fact that we don't have more matchups like Calterra, Jeff Glover is one of the reasons that most people aren't following it because we don't have the same backdrops that, say, an MMA fight would have?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. It's got to be like that. It's got to be where you've got crazy matchups, people that wouldn't normally match or fight in competition because of their weight classes and stuff. Mixing and matching like that, I think will, I think that's a good point that you made. I think it would really, explode the sport and make people watch it more because, anybody could, watch the Worlds and watch the Pan Ams and watch their favorite fighters. And you might not see that matchup, but years ago you saw the matchup, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of the weight classes and stuff. But, you'll never see Jeff Glover and Kyle fight at the Worlds or the Pan Ams. They're just in a different weight class.
Yeah.
So, to be able to see that. Yeah, to be able to see that was really cool.
Curt, you said you started training in 2000. That's 12 years ago. Can you just tell me the slight differences or major differences between now and then?
Oh, boy. Obviously, back in 2000, there wasn't, it's funny. I was talking to Robert about this a few years ago about, X-Guard and De La Riva guard and, how they've evolved and stuff like that. And, he brought up a good point where he saw some 1950 photo, video or something in like black and white where these guys were using De La Riva guard.
Wow.
Isn't that insane? So, I think the positions were always there and people might have been using them. I don't think they might have not even had a name for them at the time. But I think like X-Guard, I think people were using them, back in the day. Mm-hmm. What I don't think that people have been using is like a tornado sweep.
No.
Or the Brambolo sweep, because that's all new stuff, inverted De La Riva guard.
Are you a fan of the new school, like those types of moves? Are you still listen, guys, you're young, you have younger students, they always want to learn that type of wacky stuff. Are you saying, listen, bread and butter, the basics, stop talking about it? What's your thought?
I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah?
I like the new stuff. I'm always hip to, like I said, I've kind of always been the guy that likes to play on his shoulders and spin around and, have fun with it. I'll go for crazy shit, here and there when I'm training, just, see if I can bust it out on a higher level guy. So yeah, I encourage guys, because jiu-jitsu is a big trick. And if you can get solid at surprising a guy with, a Berimbolo or a, inverted De La Riva sweep, or some fancy spider guard sweep that no one's ever seen, I just go for it. I mean, that's the thing. And these guys that are good, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Look at Rafa, Mendez. I mean, he's like, totally going for, like, he'll go Berimbolo and then he'll go for like a leg drag into an X-Guard.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just tricking it up and making it fancy and throwing guys off because, you know, in 2 years, everybody's going to be hip to it, and there'll be counters to everything. I mean, there's already, you know, 10 different counters, you know, to those sweeps, and now they're coming up with other stuff like leg drags into it or going into X guard into it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the Mendes brothers are we got to thank them for constantly evolving jiu-jitsu, because the second someone comes up with a counter, they're waiting for a big tournament. They're going to bust out what everyone else will be doing right after that.
Exactly. Oh, totally. And you know, I think there's a lot to be said with the younger generation getting into jiu-jitsu early. You know, when you've got kids that are 11, 12, 13 years old that are starting jiu-jitsu, by the time they're 21, 22 years old, they're already developing their own jiu-jitsu. I mean, look at the Mendes brothers. That's what they've done.
Yeah.
You know? It's just, when you train that early in your life and you grow up in the sport, you're like a sponge, you know? You're 13 years old. You're just sucking up information, and you're looking up to all these guys, you know, and one day you want to be, you know, that world champion, so you're pushing yourself every day. And, you know, I can't even imagine what the sport's going to look like in 20 years.
That's going to be mind-blowing.
It's going to be, I mean, it's going to be off the chain. So, yeah, it's crazy. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I can still move in 20 years.
I'm sure you will. As
yeah.
long as you stop doing the Birabolo.
That's right.
For those that don't know, Curt is a large man to be doing these types of moves. Tell people your height, like just alone.
I'm 6'4". I'm 220
6'4".
pounds. Yeah.
How much pounds?
Yeah. I'm 220.
So 6'4", 220. I can't even. It's funny. I've seen you do it though. Like just, it's a big guy to be pulling off these moves for sure. Curt, tell people how they could come train with you, find you on Facebook, whatnot, websites. Plug anything you want right now.
All right. So you can visit me at www.impactzonefitness.com. And I'm located in Bow, New Hampshire on Route 3A. The building number is 617. It's Impact Zone Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And you can contact me at 603-748-2965. And Facebook, you can either hit me up as a friend, Curt Cummings, CurtCummings, and I have a fan page, is Impact Zone Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fan page on Facebook.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Also, were you ever thinking about jumping in there and competing at the Worlds? How are you for competitions this year, or are you going to do any this year?
You know, I've been nagged with injuries for the past 2 years. I've been, like 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, I pulled my groin. And it took about a year to recover from that. And just this December, I pulled my opposite groin on my left side. And I really wanted to compete in the Pans. I was training for it, and I was in the mindset of doing it. And I pulled my groin, which in turn I've got a sports hernia in my abdomen as well. So I've been nagged with these stupid injuries. I mean, I'm 34 years old now, and things just don't heal up the way they used to. And I'm still young. 34 is still young, but when you've been in the game for 12 years, your body takes a beating, And I train every night. I don't take time off.
That's the way to go. No days off.
That's right. No days off, So that's just how you get better. And training with the guys, I can work on different stuff, even though I'm injured. But in the competition, you want to be able to squeeze your legs together, And when you've got a groin injury and you can't even hold half guard, you got a problem.
Yeah, you said you had you're trained for the Pans and you're getting mentally focused. What is the difference exactly when you're training in your dojo like you do every day? What's the difference from saying, you know what, we're just gonna roll like we usually do, to listen, I got the Pans in mind and I don't want to just show up just to show up. I want to do good. How does your mindset?
Well, it's definitely you use the clock a lot. You get guys yelling what the time limit is. You know, so you're pushing harder. You're starting standing up, and the pace is a lot heavier. You know, and you've got guys that are basically right behind the guy that you're rolling with. So when the timer's up, he's jumping in on you, and he had time to take a break. So the intensity of it is a lot more. And you know, mentally, you know, nobody wants to go to the pan and lose.
Yeah.
So you know, you're training. You know that these guys are training. You know, just you know. And the other thing is that everybody now isn't just training jiu-jitsu. You know, back in the day, everybody just trained jiu-jitsu. Nobody lifted weights.
That's right. I was actually just about to ask you this.
And so now it's like, you know, not only are you training 2 times a day jiu-jitsu, but you're also doing some kind of, you know, like a circuit training. That's what I was doing, and I'm still continuing to do it. I think it's just good overall, you know, strength conditioning is to keep that up.
Have you noticed a difference in your game since you've added this?
You know, I have. I've noticed that, you know, my grips won't get tired. You know, if I really give it hell, and I want to, you know, say if it's a 5-minute round and I want to tap the guy out, you know, 5 times in 5 minutes, and I'm really going after it, I feel like, you know, I'm not getting that arm pump that I would get, you know, after the half an hour has gone by. I'm not getting the fatigue. I'm not sore in the morning. I can just pick up and go ahead and go. I think there's a lot to be said about circuit training. Lifting heavy and maybe once a week. You know, that's for me anyway. That's kind of the routine that I've found for me was maybe lift heavy once a week, and then 2 times a week you're doing more of like a circuit training where you're timing your sets, and you know you've got 14 stations set up, and you're just going through all of them, you know, or 7 stations going through, and then you switch it up another 7, you know, and you got a good 45-minute workout, you know, of intense cardio and lifting.
How important do you think it is to incorporate wrestling into your jiu-jitsu training?
I think it's very important. I mean, even back in Hawaii, Travis used to bring in, you know, really good wrestlers before we competed to train with, just strictly takedowns. I think it's important that you also get a little bit of judo in there. You know, there are guys that jump half guard and jump full guard, and they're comfortable with that. But if you feel like you're comfortable on your feet and you can take them down and get the 2 points and be on top, I think that's even better.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really important to have the wrestling, and I'm a personal fan of them penalizing people that pull for the 2. To be honest, yep. I kind of want to see. I don't want to see a wrestling match, but I want to see people stop butt scooting at the start of a match. I want to see a good little scrabble. You know, I want to see someone earn the position.
Sure, I agree.
Personal preference.
Yeah, well, you know, everybody's different too. Everybody's got different games, and you know, I'm not here to say who's, you know, what's better and what's worse, but you know, I definitely think that you'll be more. You're more dominant if you stay on top. You know, it's something that was stuck in my head a long time ago. Was just, you know, get them down, get on top, start to pass. You know, and just work it. You know, put the pressure on them early. You know, it puts the fear in them a little bit.
Wilson Hayes is a monster for that. Just because he combines, like, I think, in my opinion, his jiu-jitsu and his wrestling, just it's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and you know, Andre Galvao, I mean, he's known for like his judo. I mean, just like Leo Vieira, they're kind of like that's, you know, that's basically where Andre Galvao got a lot of his training was Leo Vieira, and Leo Vieira is known for like killer judo. You know, he's only been taken down and put to his butt a few times.
His highlight reel
by other judo. What's that?
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, just saying his highlight reel is insane. When you watch that on YouTube, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean his you know, he's got so. I mean, those guys are base. I mean, if you look at like a guy like Adolfo Vieira, who is a beast. I mean, the kid's like, he's 21 or 22 years old. He's a phenom. He's a physical phenom. But then you give that kid talent, and he's been training jiu-jitsu since he was 15 or 16 years old, you know? And it's just his base and his awareness of where his gravity is insane. I mean, to throw Andre Galvao the way he did at the Abu Dhabi was insane. I've never seen Andre Galvao get tossed like that.
I was going to say, not too many people could handle Andre Galvao.
No.
I was actually, to just talk about him for one second, I was actually really shocked when he beat Pablo Popovich, to be honest. I didn't think he was going to do it at the ADCCs that just passed. I was watching. So, I mean, hats off to him. He's always been good, but I think he's even better than he ever was a couple years ago.
I agree. I think something clicked with him, whether it's in his training habits or what, but
Autos.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, Autos is it's a great, you know, facility and everything, and I've only heard good things about it. But I don't know that. I mean, he just recently went to Autos. Yeah. You know, so I don't know that I give credit to that. I think it was just maturity, probably.
Hello?
You there? I think it was just maturity is all that was.
Probably. Curt, before we let you go, tell me, give me 3 to 5 people that you just love watching. Just you've been throwing out a lot of names here. We know you know jiu-jitsu, so name a couple guys that you really like watching that just wow you.
Well, I mean, obviously we got like Marcelo Garcia. That guy wows me all the time.
Can I cut you off for 1 second, Curt? Go back to him for 1 second. Everyone names him. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. Do you think it's the fact that he's so accessible right now with his online curriculum that makes him that much better than other people? Do you think that has a part to do with it?
I don't think so. I've never even seen his online curriculum, to be honest with you.
It's awesome.
I'm sure it's outreached a lot of people, and, you know, people are blown away. I mean, I think that he's an amazing guy, number one. I mean, the guy is just, from what I've heard, he's just a great guy to be around. And I think he never stops evolving jiu-jitsu for him, like his own game. Like, he's got such a crazy game. You know, I'll see stuff on YouTube, him rolling around, and I'll watch it for 5 minutes, and I'll pick up like 6 things from the guy.
Yeah.
You know, I just watched something the other day with him, and the guy was standing up. He went to just, you know, do like a single leg. The guy picked the single leg up to rip out. He took the other leg as he was ripping it out and took him down that way. You know, just crazy stuff that you would, the window of you seeing that is a half a second, but he takes advantage of it. You know, then I saw like a video of him and Eddie Bravo rolling around, and Marcelo was just playing with Eddie Bravo, and you know, it was just, I don't know, and not only that is
I watched the whole 50 minutes. I was a little let down, but it was still cool to see.
Why were you let down?
I honestly thought Marcelo was being very nice. And
he was being really nice, yeah.
I know, but I also think at the same time, though, he wouldn't budge on his positioning sometimes. I thought he was a little too reserved. I would have loved to seen him play off his back a bit and force Bravo on top. I think it would have been really funny to see.
Yeah, I don't know. I think. See, this is the side of Marcelo that is probably his weakness. I think he's too nice of a guy. And I think he knew that Eddie was filming it, and it was going to be all over YouTube, and, you know, people that, you know, I mean, what did Eddie have from Marcelo? Nothing. I didn't see one thing that he had from Marcelo. And Eddie's claim to fame is that he beat Euler.
Yeah.
And I would love to see a rematch for that.
Listen, I was so pumped when they announced it. I was heartbroken when it didn't happen.
Yeah, right. And I think it, and nothing to take away from Eddie Bravo. I mean, I think he's very talented at getting people to watch his videos, and I mean, he's always got crazy things going on at his academy.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of his.
You're a huge fan of who?
Eddie Bravo's.
Oh, you are, yeah.
I love the way he marketed. I love the way that the 10th Planet system, or the family per se, really is a ride or die type of group. They really, right. You see them, they have their 10th Planet shirt on. I'm sure you've dealt with a couple students where you just, all you ask from them is, wear a shirt during this class or this, and why? They don't even understand why they have the Drysdale patch on the back of their gis or something. That's a problem for them. And I see these 10 Planet people, and they go all out. That I respect.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a character. Him claiming that he invented rubber guard, and it's the guy's classic. I mean, he's a hell of a marketer. I got to give him credit. Got to give the guy credit.
Couple more guys. Name one or two more guys.
Okay, so Marcelo Garcia for me, as far as just, and then obviously we got Robert Drysdale. I think that guy is, thing with Robert that's different from other people that I see is Robert will take a technique that you already know, and he'll tighten it up 10 times, or he'll show you things in that technique that are just, it's so much more simpler and tighter. I don't know. I mean, yeah. You've trained with them. Would you agree?
I agree. I've been to a couple seminars. I got the chance to roll with him, and he does simplify it so much to the fact where you start thinking, why didn't I just think of that?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it is that easy. Why couldn't I think of this? But it's not. He just has such a great way of showing and teaching. Right. Do you think he personally hung it up a little too early as far as competing in jiu-jitsu?
I don't know. I think he made a good move of going to MMA now, because your window of MMA is short-lived, and if he waited any longer to visit that, I think it would have passed him. So I agree with him. I mean, the problem with competing nowadays is that you don't make any money competing.
Yeah.
Unless you qualify and you go to the Abu Dhabi, it's not worth it to fly all the way to California, waste, airfare, time off work, time on a hotel to compete, and then to pay to compete, and, to win, and you get nothing. Not even nothing. I mean, you get a tinker for a medal, I mean, the Abu Dhabi guys, I know they have money, and I know that, it's in a different country, and they treat their athletes in a different way of life, but still, I think it's pretty sad that even in the black belt division of the world and the Pan Am, that these guys can't get something.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. You might get the chance to have a breakout season or really shine, and the best that comes out of it. And that's the way we all make money in this sport, would be through the seminar tours, and maybe if you're lucky to get a DVD out there and get your name a little more shine.
Right, but think about that. I mean, and that's what they say. That's what they sell you. They, as world champions, they say, oh, but now you can do seminars, and now you can do this. And now you're flying all over the world, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that's great. But what if you had a family? And now you're bound to, at least every weekend, fly to Europe, fly to Canada, fly to, United States, fly to Alaska, do these seminars, fly to Ireland. It's just, to me, it's like these guys work their ass off training. And that's a short-lived career too, in my opinion. You can't stay on top forever. You know, show these guys a little bit more appreciation. They're the ones that are bringing you the money. You know, these big names, Adolfo Vieira, Robert Drysdale, Marcelo Garcia, you know, Lucas Leite. These are all guys that are bringing, you know, you guys money to your event. Show them some respect, you know. But you know, that's just stuff that irks me. It's the same thing with the UFC. I feel like the UFC guys don't get what they deserve, you know.
But at least they got a lot more outlets. I really hope the jiu-jitsu world changes as far as people stepping up to the plate or the organizers of the tournaments to give some money away. Because like you said, it's true. You can't stay on top when you're touring the world, and you know it's hard to maintain a family when you're touring the world.
It is, and you know, most of the time the guys that are winning the competitions, they're younger. You know, they're between 22 and 27. You know, and most likely they don't have kids. Their whole passion is jiu-jitsu. That's what they live this stuff. I still think they need to be compensated better. You know, I still think that, you know, if you're coming from Brazil to go all the way to California to compete, I think these guys need to be compensated better. And I think if we did compensate them better, I think we'd see a better tournament.
Oh, I agree 100% with you.
Yeah.
Curt, I'm going to have to let you go now. Thank you very much. Maybe we'll have you back on the show sometimes, or maybe I could come down to your school again and we could train together real soon.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good talking to you.
Oh,
you're welcome. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, guys, I'd like to obviously thank Curt there for coming on and speaking with us. So remember, guys, subscribe to all our stuff on YouTube. Please go like our Facebook. Just type in BJJ Addict. You'll see us pop up. Remember, follow me on Twitter at the BJJ Addict. And seriously, guys, please rate the iTunes show. Rate this show, and you know, it really helps us. It really helps us out a lot. So, Jared, what's something you took away from talking to someone who's had such a lot of experience?
It really opens your eyes, because I've only done this for a couple years now, and to see what 12 years can do to you.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you think like, oh man, I got another 10 years.
Yeah.
And especially at this age of 21, you know, it's like, how can I, jiu-jitsu is such a big part of my life.
Yeah.
It's like, how can I make something of this? And it, like he said, like doing jiu-jitsu and competing and all that can only get you so far. So, I'm going to open up a school.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just going to stop, open up a school right now.
And do lots of MMA. No, but BJJ, like, it, you know, it could grow. It has potential to grow.
I think it's going to grow. I have a pure faith in it. I'm putting all my eggs in one basket, which is always smart. And I'm believing in BJJ, guys. Also, what was I going to say to you? Do you find, though, you said a couple years, right, training?
Yep.
I don't know if you're like me, but I was kind of cocky. You know, I had to get humbled the right way, which is grappling better people and just getting owned. Do you find the longer you're doing it, the less you kind of know? Like, at the start, did you think, oh, I knew it all? And then you realize how wrong you are? Well,
I knew, like, you got to think, when you're doing jiu-jitsu, there's going to be somebody better than you. So you always have that mentality in the back of your head that, man, I'm gonna get my butt whooped.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
Yeah.
So I never really thought of that, but in terms of growing, you have to have some kind of ego to grow.
You know, so?
Yeah, I think so. It's important. You know, because being humble can only get you so far. I would say.
I'm gonna end it on that. Being humble can only get you so far. You know what? I think tomorrow I'm going to roll you. I'm going to tap you out. I'm no more being humble. It's only going to get me so far. To the end of you.
It's important to be humble.
Yeah.
But to have a little bit of ego, you got to, what do you call that? It's got to be a good
confidence, ratio. Not being cocky. Yeah. You got to find that line.
Confidence and cocky are two different things.
All right, we'll find it.
We'll find it
tomorrow. All right, guys. So I'd just like to thank everyone tuning in, everyone supporting us, supporting Fight Fan Radio, Fight Fans Radio, that is. And that's it for tonight, guys. Stay tuned. 2 episodes in, there's going to be a bunch more. You can download this on iTunes. I'll post the information on my Twitter and Facebook, everything, so you guys can see how to watch. And once again, thank you. Thank Jer. Thank them, Jer.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care.